All right, hey, what's going on, peoples? How's everybody doing today? We have some sunshine. It's about 2:55, so that's like abundance. It's like some abundance and everything, that everybody should be basting in. If not, don't worry about it. It's on the way. It's on the way. I got up, rise and shine early today, even with a sluggish uh, body, I should say, but the soul was actually rising up with the sun and everything. And and Prima Rosa, she she came to me early and everything. I was like, wow. I couldn't believe it, because as I'm listening to the birds in the background right now, uh, we've had a couple of falcons come in and bring me some, which is that of the sun, bring some sunshine and everything to some days that I haven't gotten out yet. Still haven't gotten out yet. But it's everything is happening in its time. And today was the day that I last had saw her body anyway, you know? And it actually is like there's birds in the background right now. I don't know if you can hear them, but it was chirping and everything to go ahead and get up and like I said, even though I was feeling sluggish, turn it on and see what's going on. And lo and behold, we have the two cat, Rhapsody, and then it was another cat. I put it up there. You guys saw it. To where the cat said, the cat said, let me see what he said. The cat. I had wrote some things down. Oh, the cat said, kiss my butt. No, it wasn't kiss my butt and everything, or my highest honor. I honor you to kiss my butt. Now that right there had me crying. I mean, rolling. I couldn't believe it. And then on top of that, with the Gemini, for today being November 7th, and in the last of it saying to speak your mind and everything, And so that was her message and everything, in the highest honor. I honor you in the highest, or something to that effect, to basically kiss my butt. And so started out with some giggles, some funnies and stuff today. Some funnies, This girl prancing around right now. And this right here was really 3 days apart. 3:47 on the clock right now. 47 is the year she was born. 3 days apart from November 3rd, which was Hilliard Humphrey, and that was her father. And he loved and sang, I guess, even like you say, Eugene, and everybody saying the shit out that song called He, And so that song, He, is a very, very special to us. And it was kind of a bittersweet for myself. Why I'm saying that and everything is because she only asked me to do one thing the whole time inside of there. After she found out I was like learning the guitar and everything, and that was to learn how to play the song He, and I didn't do it. I didn't do it because I didn't want any of the music to bleed inside of the lyrics that was flowing through me, and the melodies that was flowing through me to where, it came off of someone else that I wanted to come out of me, you know? And so in doing so, what I did do is I wrote a song about her. And I didn't know it was for her at the time. I had to wrote the song actually about a year prior to me getting out. And it was called Send Me. It was called Send Me. And it started out well before the crevice of time. I saw you clear in the back of my mind. I said, send me. I said, send me. Send me to that heavenly place so I can look upon and love on your face. I said, send me. Your love is plenty. And went on like that and everything, And wrote a part that I was singing to her, and then she was singing to me. She goes, when all the sands of time be gone, don't ever think, no, I'm never alone. I'll be with thee, and you'll be with me. Meet you up by Bethel's door, in a place we were at before. We said, send me. We said, send me. And I know all this. You already know that this love we possess forever will flow to eternal bliss. Your beauty grows and grows, heaven's own life-giving rose. Heaven's own, such a beautiful rose. And I said, send me. I said, send me. I said, send me. 'Cause her love is plenty. And I didn't know she was going to be going so fast. So it was, like I said, bittersweet. And I was able to go ahead and sing it at the makeshift wake that we had without her body. And I didn't get the last little rap part in, but for the most part, I guess I got what it was supposed to be heard that evening. And she, I don't know what everybody else did for their parents and everything, but she took care of her sister, Geraldine. Okay, and she was out there on the street, had, like I said, beaten up by her husband, William. She was more beautiful than even Rose was. Had the little mole, Marilyn Monroe mole and everything. And you think that, I guess, you think if you think that I'd be talking like gang of trash or shit or something like that, to people, what have you not, or, sister would put me in my place, put us all in our place and everything. And Rose would be laughing at her. And she was the middle sister. Rose was the oldest. And so, she took care of her. And she was out there on the streets and everything. Because, like I say, people, and she was beautiful. Not to say that, I think that I'm beautiful, but she was beautiful. And everybody's beautiful in their own way. But just like these people up here right now are shooting right now to darken up my eyes and everything, to pull all this EMF, these EMF waves that they shoot in day and night. They slow down during the day, but nighttime, it's pumping up. I guess this is the thumbs up, the sticker, the shocker to go ahead and obey, to do as I say, do what I do, type of pretty much what it is a modern day uh, witch hunt. Okay, that's pretty much what it is. It's a modern day witch hunt. You know how they burn the witches at the stake? They burned them, and witches would burn other witches too. They would send fire and all kind. Hey, put the cauldron in. Even the cats who woke me up today, go ahead and burn. What do you call them? Deface cats, kill cats, and burn them to, maybe part of the potion, to this day. And so again, like this, waking up to the cats and everything, the Rhapsody, and then the one that said, in my highest, I honor you, highest, kiss my ass, basically. to kiss my ass 1:11 on the clock. So, yeah, waking up to that and everything was funny. It was funny, with a parody too. There was a parody on it and everything, And so she took care of Gigi. She took care of her mother, her father, her sister, all of them till they pass off this earth and everything. I don't know how, if you have, and that's even bad, good, bad, and ugly against that has been done. Even with her own father, for him to come as a man and say, "Honey," he was Humphrey. Ray is a king. Okay. Actually dealing with medicine, the Humphreys. You can go ahead and look it up yourself. The Humphreys medicine manuals. All right. So we knew a lot about the land. We knew a lot about the things we're talking about, even as healing remedies or even potions. Okay. And even looking at the wicked, there was some good potions there, where to go ahead and help people get out of, or at least a block to soothe the traumatic events we go through, and so we remember them, but not necessarily the pain, not necessarily the pain. It was one of the episodes that was showing inside of there, and even remember grandmother, even Gigi eating the dirt, eating the red dirt, taking us out to Cherry Valley, and everything, to pick up some apples and red dirt from Cherry Valley. Matter of fact, So all these today, brought back a lot of good memories, and everything. Actually, this is my first one that actually I'm smiling and everything. Like I say, when you get to certain points, whether it be inside of your own journey of healing and or spaces of time, then we're able to see things from different perspectives and everything. But the one thing I saw all the way through all of them is that even with all of them, whether it be sister didn't give up to the end. She didn't give up to the end because she knew what the heck was going on. Okay, people might have, called her crazy, and they was giving her meds on top of that and everything. Just like as they put me inside of Napa too, called me crazy. May even say because of the darkness up underneath my eyes right now and everything, that I'm sad or might have a dark entity or some shit. Oh, but you know what? I showed you already. Everybody has a dark and a demon entity. What it is though is you got to come. You got to envelop, embrace even that dark entity. All right, and become friends in that. Okay, and even the devil. Okay, which is really devil, or evil, which is really simply living backwards. Okay, or devil, which lived backwards. Okay, even those things will come and and entities will come to assist you in even the right direction or whatever, or left direction, whatever way you wanted to go. Me myself, it's middle. It's the middle. It's the middle. You know. And the reason why I say that because we got black and white, which are two sometimes in black and white. I just learned, the gray area is not it's not so harsh and not to the right, and it's not leftist or rightist. It's more in between. Because sort of like it won't be so hot with the sun, so the cool gray skies are cool for that and everything. But we definitely still need the sun. We still need the sun no matter what. Okay, and it bursts through the clouds when it bursts through these gray clouds whenever it's time. You know, whenever it's time, whether it be man-made or whether it be of the natural, it bursts through when it's time and everything. And so, again, depending on each of us where we're at in our journeys, that will also happen to each of us and everything, depending on where we're at inside of our journeys. I also saw today that today was a humdinger too. Hebron. I was trying to go ahead and get it with Yisrael or Jerusalem, Salem, because I was going along the witches and everything. Salem, Jerusalem, Salem. See how close it was there and everything, And it's a parallel. Ohio has both of them, Jerusalem and Hebron. California doesn't have both of them, but Goshen, it is the same distance, equal freaking distance, whether it be over in Egypt, which is 200 miles. Okay? Goshen to Hebron is 200 miles. The same thing from Oregon, Goshen, to Mount Hebron in California is 199.4, or either they gave another one at 206. So it's in between, but regardless, it's approximately 200, which equals the same. It equals the same distance of that of the second Goshen in Egypt over in Africa. That's the second one. This is the first one over here. And the Goshen in Oregon, believe it or not, is off of Highway 97 and has a zip code of 97405. Okay? So that's the inheritor. That is the inheritor right there. Somebody inherited something right there. And so, to each, like I say, Amos 3:7 states what? The Lord revealeth his things to the secret things, to that of his prophets and so forth. Okay? And that, whether it be that, this I believe is going to be a prophet, and the secret in the positive, for the positive arc or angel that's in the Goshen anyway, of a line of angels. All right, is that of Raziel. He's the holder of secrets and so forth. And we do have an arch demon secret also, and that's actually inside of Pisces. Pisces hold that one. All right. Can't remember the name right now. I want to say Sehalel. But I can't remember again right now what it is. But we all have, like I say, good, bad. We already know that. Light, dark, and even evil that want to maybe even come across our mind anyway. We might not act upon it, but we might want to come across our mind, especially when we get, if we allow ourselves to get so worked up. For the most part, I don't necessarily allow myself to get worked up like that. There have been cases in which I have, okay, even blacked out. But for the most part, I'll leave something to leave it away, walk away from it before it lets someone, or get me worked up and everything, you know. Because, like I said, even with myself, I blacked out. I blacked out more than a couple of times when I get to uh, when we go overload, straight overheat, and it's a blackout, and you wake up and and it's wow, you know. And whether I've inflicted any pain on someone, or they have inflicted pain on me, even during the blackout, you still don't feel it. You don't feel it, you know. Uh, so, watched a couple of series that you've probably been checking out with me. A couple of things that you've been checking out with me, the neighbor who saw too much. All right, and she was inside the video. I couldn't believe it. See, that night was like really, really, really important, and the thing of, well, not just important, it was like, it blew me out of the water, shotgun style, with four shot. Why do I say that? I'm walking up and everything, and it's this lady inside of here, where I stay at and everything, and I hadn't seen her before. I used to see her on the streets, walking, really dragging herself high in the motherfucker, doing all kinds of stuff. And I don't pass judgment on people and everything, but I hadn't seen her in a while, even on the streets and everything, And and I had a dream. To where she was in a dream, and even in the dream was telling me to slow down, on my cigarettes, and get back up to health and everything's all, and she was in the dream too, and told us both to slow down, both to slow down, stop even, and I didn't know if she was here or not. I didn't know if she was here, or not. I hadn't seen her, but when I came back up from going to get some cigarettes, she was sitting at the bus stop and everything, and so I stopped and I was talking to her. And I was asking, listening to her, asking her how she's doing. She was saying how she was going through some health and, coming back, health problems and everything. And, coming back into view, so to speak. And it blew me away. It didn't blow me away. The conversation was just going and everything. And out of the blue, she said, I love Jewish people. I said, I love Jewish people too, And I said, well, you look like she looked like she was Jewish herself. She looked like she was like a gypsy and everything, just darker skin. I know she's, Spanish or Mexican and everything, but she looks like a gypsy, with the skin and everything. And yeah, she looked like a gypsy. And so anyway, she was saying, no, it's her children. Her children and everything have married him and so forth and everything, and so it stuck to me to, the question. She said, why did she say that right then and out of there, out of the blue, I mean, like I said, I love Jewish people. I actually love everybody in general sense. It doesn't necessarily, we have good and bad and ugly. We have dark and light and ugly. So there's good Jews, bad Jews. Matter of fact, even I didn't share this with her. My brother ended up marrying a Jewish girl and everything, And every time I came to the only time he came down to see me, it wasn't to see me, it's actually to see the grandmother. She's a elderly lady, and she actually was married to a judge down in Newport Beach. Had a nice place looking over the beach. I mean, you walk down the beach, it's one of them big condominium, big buildings with all the, I'm talking about boardwalk. You're on the boardwalk, okay? Judge White. And so, first time even meeting her there, and I know she's older and going through, but she ran in and tried to stick her tongue down my throat. And that's front of everybody. I know she's losing it, and I understand, dementia, this, that, but and then the second time I met her up in Fresno and everything, again, wanted to stick her tongue down my throat, So I'm not even looking at that part. I was like, damn, I wonder what she was doing in her younger days then. That's what I was tripping on. I was like, damn, she's doing this right now. So I wonder what she was doing in her younger days, when the hubby was there or hubby wasn't there. You know what I mean? I mean, to people of my color, you know what I'm saying? This caramel color here. And so, I didn't tell her, Diane, this, and it took a while because I asked Diane what was her name. I don't believe this is her name anyway. She just gave me a name, The first thing that came to my mind was Dirty Diana. Yeah, because, like I said, I started out here in the streets and everything, but again, I don't pass no judgment, But then Lady Diane, and then I go to watch this movie, The Neighbor Who Saw Too Much. And the sister inside that didn't believe her, I forget the main character, the sister, the younger sister, she didn't believe her. Diane, her name was Diane. And she was saying that the neighbor was a fucking murderer. She saw her. She gave her proof and everything, and all of that shit, and I kid you not, lo and behold, too, as I'm sitting up here watching it, I go to my bathroom window, sit up there and smoke a cigarette, and it's a dude just looking out the damn window, and I took the damn picture of it, They put an electrical line from that building, from the other building to our building that wasn't there before. So I'm looking at all of this stuff right here, the neighbor that saw too much, he's, and so I was like, and it was looking, came back to look again, and so I took the picture of that too. And so it was like sink to where Diane didn't believe, and lo and behold, at the end of the whole movie, the younger sister was correct. And on top of that, inside of that movie they were mourning the loss of their mother. All of this stuff. This was like, you can't, you talk about with the cards. How you say you can't make this stuff up. Okay? So we're not even talking about no tarot card. We're talking about just life. I'm not channeling anything. We're just turning a channel that's there already, okay? What's coming in is right there, it's just right there. You know what I'm saying? Then we go to see the series Humans, and the lady who actually wants to bring her vision, or her computer AI, who she had created, and she was a feminine voice inside the movie, but towards the end of the movie, end of the series and everything, that entity called V came into life, but as a man. Okay, and so V, as I put up there, I'll show you can see that and everything. I was like, whoa. And again, they're talking about knowledge, even the Yiska. I want to say Yiska. She was called by V to go ahead and upgrade her to the status that he had, which was really knowledge of all. So God made man, and man made machine, machine made God, and machine was God, so to speak. This were her words that flipped back and forth and everything. And so all that right there was like crazy, and as I was going back to as I was leaving Diane, I turned around and there was like four people there. One was sitting on a wall. One was a black guy. He had a white bag, and then one was a Mexican guy. He had a backpack, and one had just turned the corner coming from out of this apartment building and everything. Then I come in, and I think even the guy Mike here, he might be Jewish. You know what I'm saying? He kind of reminded me of this guy I met at Clover Avenue in West LA. Was going to Clover Avenue. His name was Michael Behrens. And Michael Behrens used to take me over there because he played guitar. They had a little band and everything. You know, it was like 5th, 6th grade and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And also during that time, UCLA 3301 Sepulveda is where Jimmy and Joey, Jewish people, used to come by. And one had a motorcycle, and then the other one had the VW van, and they would come pick us up, even without our parents and everything sometime, and take us to the beach like that. It was hella cool. And then the top one side of my life, who turned me on to all, you know, to the base of my learning and all this, was Jewish. And his name is Michael Zell. Had a brother that lived in Reno and everything. And when he was teaching me the things that I was learning, he was pretty much my age right now. He was 58. He was 58 teaching me. And so like when I say, my love for the Jewish and everything, it runs deep. It runs deep in a lot of ways and everything. But, you know, just like we have dude shit browns, cocker browns, cocker pink, cocker gray, even black, blue, whatever color it is, you know, we have a lighter shade, we have a darker shade. Even those have tones and tonalities and everything, in which, hey, frequencies that we still have to navigate even within our own, whatever it is that we choose, whatever we have to navigate. And that's even going back to singular, to ourself. So it still got me to say I love Jews, but she was Mexican. She didn't say I love Mexicans. So, you know, but everybody's on a different journey, you know, not to say good, bad, or ugly with it. You know, everybody's just different. And so of all things, you got to respect it. You can't jolt a motherfucker, you know, shock a motherfucker, you know, like I say, with even though they're doing it, because in all my life, regardless of how many cigarettes I done smoke or whatever, my eyes have never sunken in like this. All right? And that's from the duality of being this electromagnetic frequencies that they're shooting in on my feet to the points that they put in when I went to that Michelle Garcia and went in for neuropathy, and she shot these different placements, even to one directly on a pineal gland on my foot. One of them is directly on the pineal gland, you know? So this is not even my normal, you know, one might say raccoon man, I might look like raccoon, but it's just not normal, you know? To make me look sad or think I'm, you know, I have no fucking idea. I'm just not that guy. I'm not a sad guru. No, I'm not a sad guru, you know? It is funny. It's funny what people will do for land and money. For land and money, you know? And so, highest of honor, but in your face, is what the cat said. In the highest of honor, the respect, my butt in your face. Okay, that's what Rosa said. All right, and so, even to the thing of, I had to jump back in there to so one doesn't think I'm, being facetious or whatever when we're speaking on the prophets, because even there are ill prophets and there are ill gain prophets, and there are demons for each of them. There's good and bad demons for each of them. A demon doesn't have to necessarily be good, or a daemon doesn't have to necessarily be good or bad and everything. A daemon is really a nomad, going backwards. A nomad is a traveler. So a traveler pretty much can go ahead and tell you, where that's not the hermit and everything, but that's the fool who loses himself to actually go, start some new adventure and be traveling like a gypsy. And so and even when, like, say, for instance, Vietnam or all these wars and everything, see, they were smart with this money and everything, because they didn't take the paper money, they took the bullion, they took the gold and everything with them, because that's what's going to retain regardless across all borders and everything. Okay? That is going to hold its buoyancy and even increase across all lands, every land that they may enter into. So all of these things right here, I just wanted to go ahead and pop in to thank you once again. I know, these people are still going to go ahead and do what they have to do, or do what they think they should have to do, in order to go ahead and make you come to their side, or come see things through their eyes, or I guess relinquish themselves probably from monies that they've already even been given to, and they didn't complete their job, or they spent frivolously and didn't invest it in to clean it, make it proper, or they're just simply overspending and don't know how to manage money, after even pulling a motherfucking heist, whether it's for a couple of dollars, or a couple of million, but that's not my problem. That is not my problem. I'm not going to say wish, because a wish is just a wish. I do implore that you make the right decisions to correct them, so that whomever you owe can stop coming after you in the physical, in the spiritual. Definitely, I would implore you to go ahead and make some things correct on that and everything. Even at the place, like I say, where I'm at, this place where I'm at right now. I think I told you once before. Also, had a chat with the guy, the pest guy, and everything. He comes and sprays down things for roaches and everything, cockroaches. Now, a lot of people inside of here, this is like a heartbreak hotel. It is. I see a lot of sad people dragging their ass, laughing like they're happy or something, And the thing about it, they're stuck and kind of really mad, because they're stuck in the boxes. The lady downstairs, the next door neighbor on the right, 201, and then 203, brother and the Mexican guy, and the girl too. I feel sorry for the brother. I'm not gonna lie. Because how you have you got a spicy Mexicana. You know what I'm saying? Mexicana, where she's spicy and shit. You know what I'm saying? She got a different, and so But there's a difference between spicy and like a nagging, you know. And so even the brother, you know, they all in a job against me and everything. I ain't tripping on that, but you still feel sorry for them in what they got to do, you know, and the thing they got to do, and a lot of times the people they got to do it with, because this girl is she got like a nagging voice, you know. Even when she doing the rituals and everything, you can hear her through the thing. It's like a nagging. Even the demons are probably saying, "Bitch, change your tone while you're calling me." Even the demons are fucking probably saying that shit. So I feel sorry for the brother that's living. You know, he's a younger brother. Kind of reminded me of my first Mexican girlfriend. Her name was Denise Zuniga. You know, and I was hanging out at the park, so I was like a park nigga, and so she was a zoo nigga. And it was, at the time, you know, and but even the zoo nigga didn't even know how to speak Spanish at the time, you know. Well, at least this girl right here, she know how to speak Spanish. But damn, it just reminded, you know, reflections and shit, you know, reflections. But yeah, no, I feel sorry for them because, you know, literally the lady downstairs, she never goes out. So they're in the box all day long. I choose to stay in the box and everything, but they just stay in the box all day long. And this is how they get their paper right now, you know? It's working for them, you know. I guess the contracts is good enough for them and everything, you know? You know, I just would want a little bit more out of life than sitting up, pushing a button, being creative and nagging on. And the thing about the demons, and I kid you not, this right here was fucking crazy. Okay? And CMC. See, they was fucking with the GD, you know what I'm saying? The 7-4, Golden Dawn, you know what I'm saying? G/D, right? Fucking with the GD. These two cellies next door. Right? And they summons in somebody, and even and this whoever they summons in took these two. It was two of them too, and one of them was pretty, you know, hefty in size and shit. Slew them up against the fucking wall. And see, the thing of it was, you know, in the prison, the shelves and everything, they come out and they're metal. Okay, so but the demons came out and slung both of these motherfuckers against wall. Bow, 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 bow. Even the fucking CO came down, looked inside the motherfucker, and he left. He just saw he left. He didn't even pop the gate, none of that shit. He left. So even when you calling on him, I kid you not, they might not just even like your voice. Okay? You might call them, and then when it's, you're going to have to answer the fuck up. So I kid you not. You know, a lot of people just dibbling and dabbling, you know, and some shit's working for you right now. But shit is not going to fucking work for you all the time. Not for all the time. And not only that, a lot of that shit, it's gonna start eating you away early. And I don't care how many sacrifices you make, how many cats you fucking screw, none of that shit. I don't care how many, whatever sacrifice, blood you eat, suck, drink, none of that shit. It is not gonna be enough payment. It is just time to pay the piper. You know? So go ahead and I say mach seine Arbeit. Okay, mach seine Arbeit. Hace los trabajo. Do your fucking job. But I'm gonna tell you, you probably seen some shit, but I done seen some shit too. And the thing about I'm still sitting here going through all of this shit right here. You see, if I wasn't, I'd probably been taking the fuck out. But even the dark motherfuckers is okay with me. Okay? I'm gonna have to go through y'all bullshit. But even the dark motherfucking demons, I have got to know and understand them with respect. Not just to call on them when I motherfucking need them. Boy, we're living in an age that people don't necessarily know just yet. That's what it says in the scriptures, forgive them, for they know not what they do. I forgive, but even the demons don't forget your smell, and I'm not gonna forget no smells either. I don't forget your. I won't. I remember a face. I remember even if you're able to go ahead and switch to another fucking body. That's how I've been blessed with it. Not just vision. It's a feeling thing. You can't even really describe it. You know, they think that you're lying when you tell them about it. So, like I was saying, at the beginning, you know, I didn't know Rosa was actually going to go ahead and pass away on this day. For was 25, 23, 22, 21, 25, 24, 23, 22. 4 years ago. 21, 5 years ago. Uh, and I was told by spirits, don't worry about he. Write the songs out right now. And so when I got out, that song was needed, and I didn't know it was even written for my mother, you know, written for Rosa. I didn't know. Just like I just got finished, you know, sharing with Diane, as she called herself, that I had a dream, and I was in the dream too. I'm not saying nothing was just for her. It said for me to fucking slow down. She was in the fucking dream with me. I'm like saying, what the fuck is you doing in my dream? Pretty much is what I was like saying. Okay? And what she chalks it off to be, because she's just listening to the shit right here, the people talk, you know, she's listening right now. You know, everybody listening, you know, and saying people are traumatized because of their, you know, life or their mother or death or something like that. I'm not traumatized because my mother or death or nothing like that. I'm not traumatized. I'm going to tell you the reason why I'm not traumatized. The reason why I'm not traumatized is because I even slowed it down again, going back over that day. See, on the 7th, which was today, after we got back home, this is where Nisha comes up and says, everybody sit down. I say, hold up for a second. I'm the oldest right here. You're not going to just tell people to sit down and how this is going to go. We're going to head and ask Eugene how this is going to go. It's his life. All right. So I stopped all that bullshit there. And then he was able to go ahead and speak a little bit. And then everybody went their separate ways, came back, and so forth. Now she's trembling, though. She's trembling because I stopped her on that. Okay? Come back up on the 8th. I walk into the policeman and everything. The 17 policemen is outside. And she states with conviction and vigor, my mommy called me 4 days ago and told me and Mariah Rose to take conservatorship over my daddy. My mommy, my daddy, to take conservatorship. My mommy told me to take, with Mariah Rose, take conservatorship over my daddy. Okay? That's on the 8th. All right? So, my question is this. If she called you 4 days ago, Nisha, on the 8th, that's minus 3 days, right? So you had 3 days to actually come up to the day, which is today. Today's the 7th. And when I asked you on the 7th, when you were even when I said, hey, sit down, it's Eugene's life and everything, okay? And even after Eugene would have spoken everything, then you could have spoke at that point in time and said, I got to tell you guys something. And you didn't have to have like you stabbing somebody with the thing. Like you stabbing somebody with something. You have 3 fucking days. No, you have 4 days to go ahead and even call people before. 4 fucking days. All right? But even, say you didn't use that 4 days, but even that day, the same day that this happened. But this is day 5 right now. Tomorrow, the 8th, will be day 5. In between that right there, before you even got to that, going back on the 7th day, you're pacing. You're pacing back and forth in a frenzy, not knowing what the fuck to do. You're over at the park, clenching your teeth. Your jaws are dropped down here. Your eyes are fucking. Your mind is clicking. I'm just looking at you. Clicking at what to do. Okay? So, all of that right there gives me joy. You bring me joy. Sunshine. It shines. The sunshine, right? On a lot of dark bullshit. And it's right along with the demon part, the negative trait of Aries, trying to be pushy, push your will upon someone, your strength, your might, your Macht in German. And it doesn't work, just like these people right here. This shit ain't gonna work. You might as well just go, if you want to fuck me off right here in my face, go get some fucking acid, fuck me all up. That shit ain't gonna change shit on me. Get the motherfucking, gorilla motherfuckers. Break a motherfucker up, break my legs, shoot my shit up. I don't give a fuck. That shit ain't gonna change shit on me. Ain't gonna change the way that I think. You're gonna have to cut a motherfucker all the way up. And make sure that it's pierced through the heart. Because it won't change. It won't change. The only way change comes about is when you have disagreements or you see differently about it, is you sit down like grown fucking people, like grown men and women, boys and girls, and you sit down and you discuss what the discrepancies are, and then you come up with a resolution to where things can go ahead and work in the highest for the both parties. And that is what is called collaboration. Even if one takes the loss